Hi. Um, in in the news, there's a piece on Sadiq Khan wanting to extend the Ulez zone in London from inside the North and South circular roads to basically most most of most of London within the M25. The only areas that are probably not going to be affected are those in other counties like Watford, which is in Hertfordshire, like and other areas of Hertfordshire, and possibly other areas of Kent like Dartford, for example, and Epsom down in Surrey. Yeah, so he's wanting to extend it, and this comes at the time when everyone is struggling financially because of rising bills, rising food costs, and all cost of living increases going up. But he wants to press ahead with it. Now, I thought Sadiq Khan was Labour and they were for the working class and the less well off. This just proves that he's really not looking after the less well off at all, and wants to basically promote London being a clean air city. But when you think about it, man's involvement in the climate in the climate change is very small, and the rest of climate change, and then this is another thing that these stop oil protesters don't consider, is that about 4% of it is actually man-made, and the rest of it is all natural. So that's something that just stop. That's something they all don't. They never think about really. They just want to use green initiatives to punish everyone else. And I personally think that is really quite badly out of order because Sadiq Khan really is such a hypocrite. This guy, he jets around the world to promote all these sort of like telling everyone that they've got to clean up their air. I mean, there was a story. I think he went down to Argentina to do such a to do such a thing and do such a promotion down there. No prizes for guessing how he got down to Argentina. I would imagine he probably flew down. I imagine he possibly flew down there. But maybe he didn't. Maybe he swam there. I don't know. Or maybe he rode there. But my guess is he probably flew there on the plane, which is a lot more polluting than most vehicles in London. Even a 25-year-old Range Rover. Anyway, Sadiq Khan really does remind me of a corrupt sheriff of American Midwest town. He basically London's crime rate is absolutely shocking. It's really high. Basically all he does is he says it's part of living in a big city, and basically blames the Tories for it. Whereas he may have a point on that because the Tories are responsible for cutting all the police service down, cutting police numbers, but also Labour are responsible because they created this monster of overspending and running up such a huge debt for the country in the first place when Blair and Brown were in charge. So yeah, Sadiq Khan really, I think he does remind me a bit of a corrupt sheriff who just lets the outlaws do what they want and basically just penalises everyone else. So that's kind of how Sadiq Khan reminds me. I personally think Londoners who really are concerned about this should start setting up petitions to prevent him from doing this, because it's just absolutely crackers really. And I mean, the only people that will really benefit from Londoners living within this zone is the fact that some of the outer areas are not that well off. I mean, there's quite a number of council estates around, sort of like the outside the M25, outside the North Circular rather, not the M25. And a lot of these people haven't got a huge amount of money, and a lot of people live in social housing. So they're probably not going to be able to afford a terribly expensive car. Mind you, saying that, the Ulez zone I think covers cars made after 2006. So if you've got a 2004 or 2005 car, you're knackered. And if you've got a diesel car that's older than 2015, then you're also going to be knackered. So that means that those sort of cars are now going to be absolutely pushed out by people in London trying to get Ulez compliant vehicles. So yeah, that's kind of how Sadiq Khan reminds me of, and I think Londoners need to take this into account when they have the next mayor election because Sadiq Khan really, I think he's one of the most hypocritical mayors in charge of London, basically forever. I mean, he makes Ken Livingstone look good and makes Boris Johnson look very good. So yeah, anyway, see you soon.